Hi, friends. I have a book to read to you today called Out the Door. And it was written by Christy Hale. And if you use your picture power, you can look right at the front. And what do you see? A girl headed out the door. So, this is a story about this girl and how she gets to school each day. And I want you to pay really close attention because your question at the end is going to be about how you get to school and if it's the same or different than how she gets to school. All right, guys, you ready? Oh, and here's our little blurb. Out the door, down the stoop, past the neighbors, along the block. Follow a young girl as she travels to school in a busy city, through tree-lined streets, onto a crowded subway car, into the classroom with friends, and finally retracing her steps back home again. There's so much to see in Christy Hale's warm, richly textured artwork and simple, evocative text. Right out the door. And there she goes. And it looks like she's not walking alone. It looks like someone's walking with her. What do you think that might be? Her dad, probably. And they're going to head down the stoop. Oh, and they're coming outside of the house. And remember, it says she lives in the city. So this is what buildings look like in the city when they're really close to one another. They all have front porches that are like right next to each other, guys. It's so crazy when you see them that close, especially when you're from a smaller town. Past the neighbors, along the block. Those illustrations are beautiful. Look at all those colors. I wonder if you're noticing anything about the city. Like there are so many people and so many, what else? So many cars, so many buildings. Wow, it looks very busy there. Across the street, up to a light. Oh, and look, it looks like he's helping her cross the street, nice and safe. Outside the station, at the booth, beyond the turnstile. So this is something that you friends might be like, what is this? Where are they headed right now? Any of you friends know where she might be going? She's at a booth and beyond the turnstile. I wonder if the next page will help us. Let's see. Below the ground. So in the city, a way that a lot of people get from place to place is they actually ride on this thing called a subway. And some of you friends may have ridden on one of these before if you were ever in a big city, but it's basically like trains that go underground. So that's where she's headed. She's headed to the subway. And I know it sounds crazy and it sounds so cool, but here in big cities like New York and wherever she is, it's very normal. A lot of people take the subway. It's like taking buses. Below the ground, amid the crowd, behind the line. You want to stay behind the line so you're nice and safe. Because the subway train comes right up to them and they just get right on. Aboard the train on a seat. And I wonder, does everyone sit down when they're on this train? No, a lot of times they'll have people even standing up. That's what these poles are for. A lot of the time people will hold on to them just to keep them steady and safe. But sometimes there are so many people on these buses that there isn't enough space for everybody to sit. And they aren't really going very far, some of these people either. It's just quicker to take the subway. Through a tunnel in the dark. Oh, and this is such a cool picture. So here's the city above them, and here they are on the subway headed this way because there's the light shining in front of them. Very cool. To my stop, up the stairs. So that's how they get off the subway. They just walk right off of it and then they head up the stairs because where are they right now? They're underground. So to get back up to the like where they can see the sky and see all the buildings. They have to go back up above ground into daylight. And imagine down there, it must seem like nighttime. It's so dark. Around the corner. Where do you think she might be now? Use your super picture power. Who do you see a lot of? I don't know about you, but I see a lot of kids. Let's see, around the corner, inside my school. There's a lot of kids in one classroom too. Among my friends. Until it's time for home. And then, so this is like the end of the day. This would be like our dismissal time. And then out the door, down the steps, past my friends, along the street, outside the station, beyond the turnstile, below the ground, amid the crowd, behind the line, aboard the train, on a seat, through a tunnel in the dark, to my stop, up the stairs, into daylight, around the corner, inside my house, among family, until it's time for bed. And then, so look, these are so cool because it's showing her whole trip back home, down into the subway and walking back along the street and finally coming into her house where she's with her family. And then when she goes to bed, and then I wonder what's going to happen next. What do you think? I see an alarm clock. And then out the door to do it all over again, right? Because this is what she does every single day when she goes to school. So friends, I have a question for you about this. And I know that you will be able to answer this one because I bet you thought that the way she got to school was so cool. So I would like you to answer this question for me. Put those listening ears on. How is the way the girl gets to school the same or different as the way you get to school? I'm going to say that one more time. How is the way the girl gets to school the same or different as the way you get to school? All right, guys, are you ready to rock? Bye.